Vessel negligence and maritime injury cases, what workers need to know in injury claims. Hey, I'm David Vicknair with Scott Vicknair Injury Lawyers. When determining vessel negligence in a maritime injury claim, many times the analysis is not that simple, meaning it isn't always the case that the owner of the vessel is also the employer of the worker who's on the vessel. Sometimes a worker who is injured on a vessel is not necessarily employed by the owner of the vessel or the operator of the vessel. Many times they can be provided by a labor company and sourced by that company who's operating or owns that vessel, and they are contracted through a third-party labor company. And so the first thing is determining who the team member works for, who is their employer, and that does dictate in some sense who the claim may or may not be against, whether or not there's a Longshore claim, whether or not there's a third-party maritime claim, and understanding whether or not that worker also was dedicated to that particular vessel, and whether or not they work on different vessels, or they spend short periods of time on other vessels, including this vessel, or perhaps they're dedicated only to this vessel. And so a lot of that factual analysis will dictate the legal regimes which your claim, whether it be in Longshore or whether it be in third party under the Jones Act or General Maritime Law, can proceed and against who. It also is important to determine, if you are injured on a vessel, what was unsafe in that vessel injury claim, meaning was there something on the vessel, was there somebody negligent who did something which led to your injury? A lot of times it's a combination of multiple actors, maybe a drilling producer, maybe a lessor, maybe an owner, maybe there's multiple people involved on the vessel who contributed to the unsafe condition which led to your injury, and it becomes a difficult analysis in determining who is liable and or in what proportion may multiple parties be liable for the injuries that you incurred on that maritime vessel. And so when you're assessing maritime vessel accident liability, it is an assessment in many cases of multiple actors, and in some cases defending against the attempt of those actors and trying to make sure that liability falls on your employer only, so that you're stuck in Longshore, versus being able to seek the full extent of your damages through the Jones Act and or General Maritime Law. If you have any questions about these claims, at Scott Vicknair Injury Lawyers, we've been handling maritime claims through over 10 years, and we're happy to give you a free consultation today and see how our maritime attorneys can help you and your family.